So guys, we are just starting. So very good morning to everyone. I extend a warm welcome to each and one of you who have gathered for this ACCA class on decoding the pathway to ACCA qualification. I'm Rohit Gupta. I serve as an associate director with Grant Thornton Bharat, and I'm absolutely pleased and delighted to be a host for this informative session. A sincere gratitude and a thank you to all of you who have managed to join us on a Saturday morning. We have around 20-25 attendees right now. I'm expecting as we move forward into the presentation, we'll have few more people joining it. Uh, and let me assure you, with the lineup of speakers we are absolutely committed to having a quite engaging session. I'll request each one of you to ask as many questions as possible because we don't want to restrict this only as a monologue. And it would become more engaging if we have more participation and questions coming from the attendees. So just to set the context right for this masterclass or webinar. So in the recent time with the advancement in technology, the accounting and finance domain has witnessed a significant change. And ACCA as a qualification has gained a lot of prominence and has become first choice of a lot of graduates, people who aspire to make their career in the finance and accounts domain. So keeping this in mind, we plan to come up with this webinar or a masterclass in which we basically try and decode ACCA as a qualification, try and understand the relevance of this qualification, what is the structure, what are the kind of benefits an individual can get after enrolling for ACCA qualification, how Grant Thornton as an organization could help individuals in their ACCA journey. So that's just to give you a background of what would be flowing in. Now I'll be quickly starting in terms of what is the content coverage of this webinar and then take it forward from there. So we'll be quickly covering, starting with who all our speakers are. Then we will talk about Grant Thornton Bharat and what are the different solutions which are offered by Grant Thornton Bharat. We'll be touching upon LearninGT, which is basically the upskilling arm of Grant Thornton Bharat, how Grant Thornton is supporting individuals, corporates, and educational institutes in their upskilling journey. We'll be briefly talking about the ACCA as an organization, what exactly ACCA is all about, what are the footprints of ACCA across India and across the globe. Then we'll try and understand ACCA as a qualification, what is the structure of ACCA, how many exams an individual has to go, how the journey of an entire ACCA looks like. We'll also be deliberating and discussing about the career scope of ACCA, what are the various industries, what are the various roles available for an individual who wants to pursue ACCA. We'll also debate on a very hot topic or probably one very relevant questions which a lot of individual and aspiring ACCA students or aspiring students who want to make their career in finance and accounts, generally face the dilemma which they generally face, that how CA and ACCA are fought against each other. What exactly one choose, what are the advantages, what advantages does ACCA offer in comparison to CA. So that is one thing which we would be discussing upon. Then we would also touch upon how the ACCA journey with Grant Thornton and LearninGT looks like. And in the end, we would be taking up questions where I would encourage each one of you to ask as many questions as possible, because you'll be able to make most out of this session when we get into those questions and your questions are being answered. So I'll quickly start with the speakers which we have. So we have Kapil Arora with us. Kapil serves as a director with Grant Thornton Bharat. He holds more than 18 years of experience in the learning and development space. He has also been one of the chief architects for LearninGT and one of the founding members of this team. By profession, Kapil is an ACCA qualified. He holds his graduation degree from Guru Gobind Singh IP University, Delhi. As an active speaker, he has trained more than 12,000 professionals across various industries and more than 17,000 students on different accounting areas. He has designed and delivered multiple training programs for corporates, universities, and various other forums. Having an extensive experience of working in the consulting front also, he has delivered various accounting and Companies Act related projects for clients such as Hero MotoCorp, Indian Oil, Vedanta, Indus Tower, etc. A very warm welcome to you, Kapil. We have Jyoti Gupta with us. Jyoti is a manager with Grant Thornton, Bharat. She holds more than 15 years of experience in sales, marketing across various industries. She leads the strategic initiative of ACCA Qualification for LearninGT. She's a graduate from Sri Aurobindo College, Delhi University. She's highly skilled in designing various brand solution and strategic client relations. She has worked in different startup companies and help from them elevate their sales and marketing strategies and initiatives. Being an active speaker, she has conducted various counseling sessions in different universities and different student forums. Hi guys, I am Rohit Gupta. As I introduced myself earlier, I serve as an associate director with Grant Thornton Bharat. I am primarily responsible for taking the student facilitation and business development activities at LearninGT. My core job involves ensuring that whatever has been promised to our students is delivered. So that's a brief introduction about all the speakers we have. I'll now quickly request Kapil to let us know a little about Grant Thornton Bharat. What are the different solutions which Grant Thornton offers, and take it forward from there.
Thanks, Rohit. Hello everyone, and welcome to this masterclass or webinar, you can say. If I just talk about Grant Thornton Bharat, right? Grant Thornton Bharat is actually one of the member firm of Grant Thornton International, right, which is having presence in more than 165 countries. So in India, if I just refer to that, we are having presence in over 17 cities, right, with having more than 9,000 people. I would say that the numbers is almost close to 10,000 now, right? When we refer to Grant Thornton Bharat, it is one of the largest, accounting auditing firm in the world. And in India, we are known as, Big Four auditing firm here. After, from last 2-3 years, that's something been done. In Grant Thornton, we deliver various services, which includes audit, taxation, internal audit, risk management. There are various service lines which we have, including the learning solution, which we are referring to here, or which we are actually talking about here. So among these service lines, we are serving more than, I would say, 2,000 plus clients in various areas. So these clients are, I would say, of Reliance, ICICI, and all the big corporates of the world, as well as we also support the government as well as the big SME sector on that per se. So in the nutshell, that we are serving on various services where client needs support. So we are more of the solution company where we are taking care of all the client's problem and coming up with the solution for helping them to grow. So that's what Grant Thornton Bharat is actually doing. So as I was referring to, these are couple of news cuttings which we are having. So there you can see that Grant Thornton was, or the local firm Walker Chandiok has been called as the Big Four in the audit service line, particularly where we have one of the largest I would say the listed client pool where we are supporting on the on the audit side. The next slide, please.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Kapil, for probably explaining us what are the different solutions which Grant Thornton has and how we are actually creating value and contributing to the vibrant Bharat, which is a tagline which we promote at Grant Thornton internally. I think one very important aspect, Kapil, which you spoke about, and which a lot of aspiring professionals should be aware of, that what are the expectations of consulting firms like Grant Thornton is that we are problem solvers. So our clients do come with us with a specific problem, and we as individuals, consultant, professionals, whatever terminology we want to use, our core job is basically to provide solution to those problems. And generally those solutions are not tailor made, and that's where our USP comes into the picture, that all these solutions are customized. And that's how we are trying actually to add a lot of value and deliver value for our clients. So thank you so much, Kapil, for explaining this. So now I'll quickly take up this slide, which basically talks about LearninGT, which was erstwhile known as Learning and Development Academy. So Learning and Development Academy, or LearninGT, is basically the upskilling arm of Grant Thornton Bharat. Under LearninGT, we provide upskilling services to individuals who actually want to upskill themselves. We have different short-term, long-term courses available. So short-term courses like financial modeling, valuation, IFRS, business intelligence. Then we have professional qualifications, which we are offering to individuals like ACCA, CPA, post-graduation diploma in finance and accounts. We are also catering to a lot of corporates, wherein if any corporate has any kind of requirement in terms of training programs, we are there to support them with the customized solutions. We are also tying up with a lot of educational institutes where we are embedding our programs, either short-term programs or long-term programs like ACCA and CPA, along with their graduation and post-graduation programs. So from a market perspective, these are the three broad markets which we cater to. Just for a few credentials, we have trained some 18,000 plus participants during the last 4 to 5 years since this LearninGT has started. We have all the flexibility and all the options and a complete ecosystem to deliver the training either through a classroom mode or through an online mode. Live online is what we call it, or probably a self, paced e-learning modules are also available. So we have created a very robust ecosystem internally where we have a learning management system also in place. And we actually live the entire journey of individuals who are coming and enrolling with us. So for us, individuals are not only transactions, it's the entire journey which we ensure. So for example, if somebody is coming with us for an ACCA qualification or for a CPA qualification, we ensure that till the time that person is not qualified completely or the final objective is not met, Grant Thornton LearninGT would stay with them and would actually help them throughout different phases of life with different kind of interventions which we have, which probably we would be discussing further in this presentation. And I think the biggest USP which Grant Thornton as an organization can offer in the learning space is the experiential learning which we are providing to our participants. So we personally think that academic institutes are very well equipped to give all the academic knowledge, which is also very, very important to all the individuals. Wherein Grant Thornton comes is that we try and bridge the gap between what the industry requires and where the academics is not able to fulfill that gap. So all our training programs are basically designed in a manner wherein we are able to provide experiential learning to our participants, and we actually tell them that what is supposed to be done on the job rather than they learning while they join the job. So that's the biggest USP which we bring to the table, and that's how only a consulting firm can add value. I think when it comes to providing professional qualifications like ACCA and CPA, we are the only consulting firm which is there present in India right now, which is offering these kind of services. Plus, we are an employer also. So when we are training somebody on ACCA, we understand that what kind of work that person would actually do, because eventually we are one of the future employers for those kind of individuals also. And that's where we are trying to fill and bridge that gap and give a lot of value to all the participants who are coming in and getting trained from us. And that's how we add to their overall career journey and their overall professional journey also. So that's a little about LearninGT and the upskilling arm. I'll just now request Kapil to talk us about the ACCA as an organization, how the qualification is structured, and then we can take it forward from there.
So on ACCA, if I just refer to that, what exactly ACCA is, right? It is one of the largest global body, right? Similar to what we have, ICI in India, right? AICPA in US, CPA Australia, right? So different bodies are there in different countries. However, ACCA is always been known as a global body, right? Which is actually taking care of all the global aspects on the accounting front, taxation front, audit front. So which has always, put an eve on that, how exactly the global corporates are going to take care of their, global businesses, where all the audit, accounting, and all other stuff are required to be taken care of. Their ACCA started, their ACCA started a qualification which was particularly referring uh, to all the global aspects around these areas. Now, having said that, this they started from London, right? Having their head office in London. However, having the presence in more than 160, 175 countries, right? So there, what exactly been getting delivered means what exactly they are covering is that they cover international financial reporting standard, which is the neve for all the global businesses. And even in India, when we are referring to India also follows similar global accounting standards now, and the same global accounting standards are getting followed across the world, right? And those global accounting standards, IFRS, is accepted by US also, where any companies, any global companies listed in US, right? They are allowed to submit their numbers in IFRS. So that's what ACCA brought in, and having a large presence. They are having students or members coming from 178 plus countries, which is having 2,33,000 plus members and 5,36,000 students. It was started back in 1904, right? So having 100 years plus presence, and it is not like that they are following the same curriculum, or I would say the same agenda throughout that period. They have been changing, innovating every time. So any new thing comes in, for example, let's say the data analytics comes into the picture, they would try and bring in some sort of tech or data side into the curriculum of the relevant papers. So something isn't there in SBL, means one of the paper which is there. Similarly, that if any change comes up in terms of, let's say, the guidance on ESG is coming in, ESG is getting very popular. So the reporting on ESG is becoming mandatory across the world. So they brought in the concept of ESG into their reporting paper. So that's how they want to make sure that every student who is going through the curriculum or who is learning or who is going through the ACCA qualification should be updated, right? And apart from that, they also gives lot many of I would say the update sessions for the existing members also who have completed in the past, so that people can come up and keep updating themselves on the newer areas which are coming up. So that is how the ACCA is actually moving into or being structured or taking care of the students as well as the members. So that's make it, I would say, uh, that's make ACCAs one of the advanced qualification as compared to any other qualification in the world, right? And this is how this they are been promoting. They are having a good presence in India. They are having teams sitting in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and the teams are taking care of the students as well as the corporates, right? And these corporates, corporates whom ACCA is actually tying up with, they are there to provide the job opportunities to all the ACCA members, students, affiliates, interns, everything they are trying to take care of. So I would say that ACCA is trying and building a ecosystem where any student joins in should get not just the support on the learning aspect, so that people like us are actually supporting you on the learning side of this, whereas at the same time they are also creating a pool of the employers to make sure that the students who are in the process of doing the internships or the practical experience would get chance to work with those corporates, as well as at the end they get absorbed in those corporates. So Grant Thornton, I would say, is not just the learning partner, but also the hiring partner or the approved employer on that sense. So we play a double role on this side. And when we are playing this role, it gives a perspective to us that what exactly employer is looking for, right? As Rohit was mentioning about that, what we've been doing, how we are training people, what additional benefit we bring in. But the core is always the same. That core is that every time we focus on that, how we can ensure that students pass their exams, because that is the ultimate aim of each and every student, and that's what we are trying to do. We keep trying and bring in, similar to ACCA, we keep trying to do some sort of experiments to make sure that we bring in some sort of value add programs for all our learners. We bring some element, like I would say that even the training on Excel, even the training on Power BI, to those students who are passing their exams. As a motivation, we don't charge anything and giving that as a free of cost thing, right? So that's what I was referring to, that what we are doing. Coming on this again, right? As I mentioned, that ACCA is one of the largest body, right? It is always known as the global body, that is one of the reason we say that job opportunities from 180 plus countries. So when we are referring to ACCAs, lot many ACCAs are going to Middle East, Canada nowadays, Australia, New Zealand, because those countries have acceptance for ACCAs. They look out for ACCAs other than the local chartered accountants there in those countries. So that something is happening. Then, as again I mentioned, that it is wide range of skills and competencies. It is not just focusing on, so every qualification brings in or having a base over 4 elements. One is taxation, audit, accounting, and advisory. So four are the main, I would say, the pillar of every professional qualification. Apart from this, ACCA try to improve their curriculum in such a way that they keep their curriculum updated, they keep the qualification up to date. What is happening around the market should get covered within the qualification itself, so that students are updated when they go and join any company, any corporate, as an employee. So they should know that how those corporates are going to take care of different elements, right? Which again, it is linked to accelerated career progression. So people who are aware about lot many things, who does lot of many research and everything, always have a better option to grow faster in their career, right? And I I I would say that it is the like-minded people's qualification. So those who aspire to grow, those who aspire to help their employer, those who aspire to have a career in, let's say, in the global market, even in India, right? So India is becoming more global, I would say, right? Lot many global companies are setting up their businesses here, right? Rather because they see India as a market. When they come up here, they want people who knows that how global accounting, reporting, I would say, the auditing and all other stuff works. That is one of the reason ACCA's demand in India is growing every year, right? And we have seen, you can see with the number of students who are opting for ACCA. The reason is that because there is huge demand in the corporate, which reflects that why people are actually opting for this particular qualification, right? Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if I just talk about jobs, I would say that these are some jobs which we have mentioned. However, whenever we are referring to the jobs relevant to ACCA, it goes from every audit, accounting, consulting firm would have the requirement for ACCA in any kind of stream, be it taxation, be it audit, uh, be it advisory, internal audit, risk advisory, mergers and acquisition, everywhere, because you need accountants, you need people who understand accounting, taxation, audit, and all in every professional consultancy firm. Similarly, in every department of finance and account function, right? Be it accounts payable, accounts receivable, reporting, general accounting, every department, be it FP&A, every department would require people who understand, who understand the finance, and people who are doing this qualification would always have the upper hand on these areas, and that helps, right? So I would say that it is not restricted to the job titles which you have seen in the last slide, but it is the entire F&A function, entire the consulting firm departments, everywhere you need that. Plus, apart from this, nowadays the software companies also, because the software developments which are happening more on the ERP, more on the solutions which finance function can adopt, right? There also they are looking for people who comes with the professional qualification. Why? Because these are the guys who understand that how finance function works, so they can actually help them to develop the right kind of software and right kind of tool, which can get into which can be implemented by the large corporates. So that is in the nutshell that entire F&A function, the entire professional qualification, professional firms, the finance and accounts, softwares, everywhere there is a huge demand for ACCAs. And these are again, I would say, some of the sectors which we have mentioned, some of the industries which we have mentioned, but these are not restricted to this. We have seen people are going into different uh, different portfolios, different companies, different industries. Now people on the ESG front also, because ESG reporting is going to be mandatory. It has already been implemented across the world, getting implemented in India. Most of the large corporates has already started giving the ESG reports, whereas the local regulator, right, has also come up with the guidelines, that SEBI has come up with the guidelines that which all companies are required to give the ESG report. It's not too far that every company would be giving the ESG reports. At least the listed companies are going to give the ESG reports in future. So there you may see that the demand for ACCA would go there also. Of course, you may need to learn that in detail, but because ACCAs have the understanding on the reporting as well as on the ESG, would always get a chance to work on those sectors, and those are very glamorous, I would say, side. Reason being that when any new I would say the sector or the department has been created, there are more opportunities, there are more chances that you grow faster in that department or in that opportunity, right?
Well, thank you, Kapil. Thank you so much for explaining so beautifully about what ACCA as a qualification is, what is the relevance of ACCA qualification, the different kind of job opportunities, because I think this is one prominent question which a lot of aspiring individuals get stuck and have there in mind, that it's okay, we are doing ACCA, but how exactly we will get placed and what exactly we would be doing. So I think that addresses one very important question. And I think in the entire discussion, one very important point which you had highlighted, and I think it is very important for a lot of people to understand, is that how dynamic the ACCA qualification is. That apart from focusing only, not only on the core accounting and finance side, they are equally evolving their curriculum to ensure that important areas, be it data analytics, be it relevant tools, be it ESG reporting, or whatever new governing principles or changes are coming, those are made an extensive part of the curriculum of the ACCA journey, so that when these students who are actually completing their ACCA journey actually go to the job market, are able to add value, and they match the exact requirement of what these different organizations need. So I think that's one of very, very important factors, and a lot of individuals should understand this and take the decisions considering this factor in mind as well. Now, Kapil and Jyoti, as we move forward, I think this is one of the most burning questions which we as individuals face throughout our journeys while talking to students, counseling students, while talking to them in different forums. That how ACCA and CA are compared to each other, what we should do, why we should choose ACCA, why we should choose CA. So Kapil, just wanted to understand your perspective on this, and probably Jyoti, you can also throw some light basis your experience. Uh, that how both of these qualifications can be compared, can't be compared, whether equal, not equal, job opportunities are equal for them or not. I think there's one prominent question which each individual asks: Do I, if I do ACCA, will I get the same salary as what a chartered accountant does, or whether I'll get the same career path as what a chartered accountant does? So I'll just want both of you to throw some light on this.
Right, Rohit. So I think we should not compare these two. Of course, we should not. Reason being that CA is more. I started with something that ACC is a global qualification, not just a local qualification. However, where as compared to CA, which is more local, right? But when we refer to ACCA, it doesn't mean that it is not going to give you the opportunity here. Being ACCA myself, right, I have seen the growth, not just that what ACCA has given to me, but I have seen that how ACCA has given growth to the colleagues who were working with me. Of course, the CA has also given them the growth. But ACCA has also given them the opportunity to, go and sit in different jurisdiction. That couple of people I have seen who were part of who were working alongside me and got a chance to work, means they got the preference to go and work in Singapore, in Australia, in Canada, right? So the global offices of, let's say, GT, has asked them that we are looking for people, right, at the very senior level, right? And when it was asked that the first opportunity came to someone who was having a global qualification, that something was done. Again, I won't say that people should anyways compare CA and ACCA, but of course ACCA is going to give you the equal opportunity in India, yeah, right? That in terms of the salary, in terms of, I would say, the quality of work which you get, in terms of the new learnings which you are having with respect to IFRS, international auditing, international taxation. So all that things bring in good value, right? For someone who wants to get the qualification. Plus, the one advantage which ACCA has, which I would say the local CA may not have, with due respect, I would say ACCA only brings in the flexibility. Flexibility in the sense that it is more student centric, student focused. The exams are, equally tough, but the only thing is that it has exams over every quarter. That is one. Second thing is that you can sit for one exam at a time, right? Which makes it more flexible, which makes it more relevant, easy for someone to get into this. Plus, it also respect, the other qualifications also, because if Jyoti can put the light on that. If somebody is already coming, let's say after BCom, or after CA, or after CA Inter, or after CMA, so ACCA respects that something you have already learned, so you should not repeat the same again, getting in while getting into ACCA. So they respect that. They try to make certain routes, and they try to give certain exemptions. So in total, if 13 papers are to be given, right, different routes, different, I would say that is the kind of respect ACCA has for all other qualification, so that everybody can get the benefit out of this. And I would always say that even if anybody is a local chartered accountant, of course, that is a good qualification that is they are having with them. Plus, they should always consider, adding uh, uh, ACCA as the qualification. Reason being that as again India is going global, lot many corporates are coming in, lot many corporates across the world are planning to, or lot many consulting firms around the world, big, small, are planning to, set up their shared service centers here or planning to outsource their work in India, right? And when they are doing that, they always have a preference for people who comes with the global qualification. So that something is happening.
One more thing that I want to add in this, Kapil. First, I would like to thank you, everyone, Rohit, Kapil, and everyone, to sparing your time on weekends. So, Kapil, there are many queries related to CA and ACCA. So, first thing is that both are equal, but there is a myth in the market like ACCA is a global degree, so there is no demand in India. So, I think Kapil has already covered that there is a huge demand in India also. But why ACCA, not ACCA, or why parallelly with both? Because ACCA is more flexible. So how it is flexible comparatively to CA? Because in CA, what will happen? Exam will held twice in a year, and you have to go with the entire group. But how ACCA is different? Because in ACCA, exam will held 4 times in a year, every quarter, March, June, September, and December. So you can go one by one paper also. Second thing is that ACCA is also having the same levels like CA. So in ACCA, there will be 3 levels. It's coming into level, but every paper is individual here. Suppose if you have cleared one paper, so it will not impact on your second paper also, right? Second thing is that there are many queries from a CA community or BCom student. Why not CA, why ACCA? First thing is that we are not saying go with ACCA or go with ACA. That is up to you only. But ACCA is more flexible. And if you will check the syllabus also, the syllabus is not very vast. This is a first professional degree where the exam will held 4 times in a year. So you can go one by one paper so that you are able to crack it easily. So this is the major difference between CA and ACCA. And if we will talk about specifically to CA community, so what will happen? Many IPCC students are there, many CA finalist students are there. Like we are not able to crack it. So if we will do ACCA, what benefits we will get? First thing is that ACCA consider like if you are IPCC student or CA student, so they are granting some exemptions. So according to that, you have to go with the remaining papers only. And that will give you confidence. You can go one by one paper so that you are able to crack it easily. So this is a huge difference. Main difference, you can say that.
Right. Thank you, Kapil. Thanks, Jyoti, for such valuable inputs on such a hot topic of debate, especially between aspiring ACCA and CA students. I think one important aspect which had come during this conversation is that the growth path for an ACCA and chartered accountant journey remains the same. So if I talk about a consulting firm like Grant Thornton, if a person is coming as a qualified chartered accountant or a freshly qualified ACCA, both of them are hired at a similar level and will get an opportunity to grow at a similar pace. So there is no distinction in terms of whether a chartered accountant or an ACCA could get a faster growth path. If the ability, skills, and knowledge is there, the growth path for both people who are qualified, either of the qualifications, would absolutely be the same, depending on how well you are able to adapt and actually perform in your environment. So while quickly, we also have Muskan available with us for this webinar. She couldn't be part of this webinar because of some her throat challenges. But I still request her if she could also throw. So she herself is an ACCA qualified, and I'm pretty sure when she would have been going through her when she decided to go for her ACCA journey, she would have also gone through this dilemma of ACCA versus CA. So Muskan, if I could request in brief, whatever your throat allows, you can also throw some light basis your experience and share those with our budding aspiring students who are part of this webinar.
Hi everyone. I'm really sorry. I'm an ACCA enthusiast actually, and I always want to be part of such masterclasses. It's just that my throat isn't well, so I'm going through a bad throat day, so that is why I couldn't be a part of the long session. But this is one question that I would love to take up, because it's something that every person who wishes to start with ACCA in India goes through. That why ACCA, why not CA, and how is it different? So just to give you a brief answer about this, and from my personal journey, I am an ACCA member in India, and in the past, I have worked with Deloitte USI, EY Global Services. I've also worked with a outsourced firm by the name of San Martin Consultants, who helped me work with direct UK clients based out of London. They have chartered accountant firms based out of London who help you, who have outsourced CA practices in India, and we directly audit the clients of UK, Ireland, and many countries based in Europe. So, just to answer that question, that is it at par with CA? From my personal experience, I very very honestly and being candid here, I had a much better journey being an ACCA from a lot of CAs as well. It completely depends on your confidence, your interview skills, and your technical knowledge. I don't think that there is anything stopping you if you are not a chartered accountant in India, because there are multiple outsourced and consulting firms based out of India as well. All these big four accounting firms, all of these MNCs in today's time also need ACCAs in India, because they need resources in India as well. Deloitte USI, and if you see these companies' growth, even Grant Thornton offices, we also hire ACCAs in bulk, if I may say. So if a chartered accountant or an ACCA goes for an interview, it's not a difference for them that, oh, because he's a chartered accountant and because he's an ACCA, I'm going to hire a chartered accountant. They presume that both these qualification, the student is technically qualified to take up the challenging role and is suitable for that role. Now, if when I went for an interview way back in EY, and there was a walk-in interview, there were more than 100 candidates, and they were supposed to take about 10 that day, and I was one of them. I was left with two exams of last exams of ACCA, and I joined EY as a ACCA student. And within those 2 months, I qualified as an ACCA member, and my growth continued. Similarly, I am doing a completely different role today, mentoring various ACCA students, telling them about my journey. So, according to me, I have never seen a difference between CA and ACCA in my journey. And I would say that if you take this qualification properly and nicely, there's nothing stopping you. I get very enthusiastic. Sorry, Rohit, you'll have to stop me actually
No,
for
no,
this
that's
topic.
pretty much okay, Muskan. I think that's why it was very important from understanding from somebody who has actually lived the entire journey, because most of the things which we are discussing right now, or probably would be discussing during the course of next half an hour, 45 minutes, is something you have lived it, you have experienced it, and you have also taken these kind of decisions. And probably I think when now when you reflect back on your career, this is something you can be proud of, and the same experience could be shared with other participants also. So thank you so much, Muskan. Thanks for those valuable inputs. I will just move forward now. I think we'll probably stop for a couple of minutes here to take up some queries from the participants before we move to the next section of this webinar. So I can see a couple of questions there on the Q&A section. First is from an anonymous attendee. Hello, sir. Can you discuss about MOU between ACCA and ICMAI? Kapil, any views on this?
No, I think for ICMI, I may have to check on this. Maybe when we cover regarding, I would say, the exemptions routes which are available, right? So there it may get covered, right? Some other answered questions also we were having, which was like that, which two papers should we choose from in professional level? So I think I'll just answer that generally, I feel that which I am good at, I should choose that always. Or where I want to pursue my career in, right? If I want to pursue my career in, let's say, in industry, right, then taxation and audit might not be relevant for me. Then, advanced financial management or advanced performance management would be relevant. However, if I want to work in like, let's say, consulting firm like GT or any other big four or any other company, then I would suggest that go for advanced taxation or advanced audit. So that's something you should do. However, the first and most important purpose of getting into qualification is to complete the qualification. So choose what you can complete quickly. You always have an option to take the exam for the third, means the third exam also, but try to choose that paper which can help you pass the exam quickly, right? Where let's say the advanced audit, where generally people take, but having a worse result globally, right? So discuss with us, right? I would say that you can speak to Jyoti, Muskan, or anybody, right, who can explain you that why some papers are relevant for you, why some papers are important for you. At the same time, why some papers you should never choose, right? Right. What is the expectation? I have seen that like advanced audit, especially people who are sitting in UK are passing the paper, right? So you may find that the global pass percentage, which is even coming, is being made because most of the people who are passing the exam are sitting in UK, right? Because they know the right expectation out of the advanced audit paper. So that's what I just like to highlight here.
Thanks, Kapil. I think there are a lot of questions which are popping up with respect to exemptions and validation of their current degrees. I think these would automatically be, a lot of them would be answered in the next section of this webinar, where we would be taking the different routes available for the ACCA journey and how the exemptions would work out. I think one question which again seems important for me is ACCA more difficult compared to CA? Please tell us regarding the difficulty level of passing rates in India. Kapil, Jyoti, any inputs on these?
Yes. Actually, the thing is that it's not difficult. Why you're comparing CA with ACCA? Both are equivalent, but what is the difference there? Because if you will talk about CA, so why we considered CA as difficult and ACCA is not difficult? There is simple one thing, कि ACCA exam will held twice in a year, and there is a pressure in the mind of the student that they have to clear the entire group at one go. And if every grade will not come, the group will not consider as clear. Comparatively, if we will talk about ACCA, there is a flexibility only that you can go one by one paper so that you are able to crack it easily. See, if you will get this opportunity in any degree, like BCom or MCom or MBA, like you can write one paper in each quarter. So at least you can focus on one paper at moment only. So this is a simple thing. Ki ACCA is more flexible comparatively to CA. Otherwise, both are same. There are many other questions also related to like how many exemption I will get being a chartered accountant, or if I have completed MCom, or if I have completed BBA plus MBA. So that questions we will cover in next slide. And after that, if you have any queries, please do ping on the chat.
Thank you, Jyoti. Thanks, Kapil. I think we will again pause for a set of questions. I think one relevant question which I think missed my attention again is with an anonymous attendee, which talks about more about the signing authority and how the license works post ACCA qualification, and whether they have a signing right in India, or probably how they can collaborate with firms in UK and Ireland. So, Kapil, based on your experience of working in UK, also working in India as well, and working with a lot of UK-based clients, so how does that aspect of the qualification, the licensing part works out?
I think this is very relevant question here, and I think after me, I would request Muskan also to address this, because she has worked in very similar environment. She has worked with companies like San Martins and others who are actually taking care of very similar work for some of the UK practice firms. So if I talk about ACCA, as I mentioned, it has been set as a global firm. For the signing authorities, ACCA is always tying up with the local body there. For example, for UK, even for the UK, they have tied up with ICAEW, right? So, for example, let's say somebody who completes the 5 years into the qualification and having uh, becoming a member and get uh, get the relevant experience. There is a MOU which give them the signing authority to sign sign any financials there in UK. So that something is there in UK. Similarly, in the other jurisdiction also. If it is allowed, then it is okay. Otherwise, what is happening is that most of the ACCA members, right, who are not signing it here in India, right, but supporting on rest of the backend operations in India, right? It is more of a outsourcing element of audit or internal audit or any other function or accounting, right, which is actually coming to India. Whereas the requirement is that even if they are working, uh, even if they are working as in backend arm for the local firm there, but still the requirement would always be that who can support from the backend is somebody who understand the core element in India. So I can give you the example because we are also facing the similar thing. What is happening? Grant Thornton is actually supporting, let's say, Grant Thornton UK. Grant Thornton Bharat is supporting Grant Thornton UK for their audit services, where we are hiring lots of ACCAs because the requirement is coming from UK that you should have ACCA students, affiliates, members who understand that how UK accounting is actually working, right? Because that's what they have learned, right? And UK taxation is working. So that is one of the reason ACCA becomes relevant, even if you are not having the signing authority. So I can totally relate to that. Signing authority comes with the MOUs, but at the same time, it gives them the benefit. So Muskan, I think you have worked in very similar work, so you can also shed some light on this.
To answer this question, this is a difficult question also, and a lot of people do have this worry. But from my personal experience, I don't think that you need to be worried about this. For yes, it is true that in India we cannot sign the audit reports as an ACCA member. If you're not a chartered accountant, you cannot sign a audit report. That is true, but not everybody needs to sign an audit report. And I'm giving you a very true answer from a practical point of view. If you wish to stay in India, there are multiple ways of in India how we call it jugaad. There are multiple ways of doing this also. There are many partners that one can collaborate with. They can be CA partners in your firm. If you want to run a practice, then a CA can sign on your behalf. One way is that. The second is that you can be partners with the firm based out of UK. So if you're a partner with somebody who's a small firm, like I was working with a firm called San Martin, who was catering to a small CA practice based out of the London office. So similarly, they were there ACAs and ACCAs there as well. So you could support them and take their support in signing, and you could do the back work or charge their fees accordingly. That is the second way. The third way is an ACCA member can also apply for a signing authority. I've just shared a link over the chat box on how to apply for the membership. There is a detailed article about this, that you need 3 years of relevant experience and how to move forward with this process. It's a detailed process, and I can take this up separately for somebody who wants to know this in detail. But you can go through this article, and this will help you if that is the main target, which is something anyway very far right now. But still, if that is the target, that is also possible by applying for a practicing certificate and by fulfilling a certain criteria. So I hope that this answers most part of your query.
Thanks, Muskan. Thanks, Kapil. I think there was not straight answer to this question, but a lot of perspective has been put in place, and I think there's a fair idea about how people can approach if they face with this kind of an issue. I thanks the audience for asking such questions. I think that was the core objective when we started this masterclass. Is it could be more engaging only if you guys are asking us questions. But now, keeping the time constraint in mind, I'll just move with the presentation forward. We would again be stopping for a Q&A session after the presentation is over, and probably try and address all the queries possible which you guys have. Again, reiterating the queries with respect to the exemptions which are there in abundance would be sorted by the next section as we move forward. Jyoti, I'll just request you now to take the participants through about the course structure, what are the different papers, what is the exemption route, and how one can actually apply for the ACCA qualification. I request you to take it forward from here.
Thank you, Rohit. So first thing is that anyone can pursue ACCA. Suppose because there is again many queries like I'm a science student or I'm having a BCom student. So who can pursue ACCA? First thing is that anyone can pursue ACCA also because it starts from basic. After your 12th or pursuing your 12th, you can start your ACCA journey. So basically in ACCA, there will be 13 papers and 3 levels, right? So as per the qualification of the student can start their journey. I will come to the exemption part later, but first I'm explaining you about the course structure. So basically there will be 13 papers and 3 levels. First is knowledge level, where 3 papers are there, which is already mentioned: business technology, management accounting, and financial accounting. Then you have to jump for the second level, where 6 papers are there. And last is professional level, where 4 papers are there. So total 13 papers are there. Now I'm explaining you about the structure and all. These 13 papers having different exam pattern. So first 4 papers, it means 3 for knowledge level and 1 for skill level. It means these 3 papers, BT, MA, FA, and fourth, this skill level, 4 papers are on-demand papers. On-demand papers means you no need to wait for any particular quarter. Whenever you are ready with your studies, you can apply for the exam. And first 4 papers are 100% MCQs. So first level is clear. Then second will jump to the skill level. So basically, because we have counted corporate law in knowledge level, after that 5 papers are there, right? And 5 papers are 50-50%. The exam pattern would be 50-50%. 50% means 50% will be objective and 50% will be subjective. And the last level is professional level, where basically total 6 papers are there, but you have to choose 4 papers. So these 2 papers are mandatory papers, which is SBR and SBL. And after that, there will be 4 optional paper where you have to choose 2 as per your interest in which field you want to go with. So this is the entire course structure of ACCA. They have divided into 3 parts. Now there is again one query like how we can go with the paper pattern. See, in knowledge level, 3 papers are there, but this is not mandatory that you have to start from first paper. Out of these 3 papers, you can appear any paper first. So there is no sequence like 1, 2, 3. You can go with 3 to 1 also. So this is the entire structure of ACCA. Can we jump to the next slide? Now coming back to your queries, many queries are there like I'm a BCom student, I'm a CA, or I'm pursuing BCom. So how many exemptions I will get? So what ACCA is doing, as per your qualification, ACCA is granting some exemption. So first qualification is high school. High school means after 12 or pursuing 12, a student has to write all the 13 papers of ACCA. So he will not get any exemptions. So all the 13 papers are mandatory papers for them. Second qualification is BBA plus MBA in finance. So if you have done BBA plus MBA or only BBA, so first thing is that if you have done BBA, so 1 paper exemptions you will get out of 13 and you have to write 12 exemptions, 12 papers. But if you are a BBA plus MBA, then you will be granted for 3 exemptions and you have to write the 10 papers. One query was there ki being a BBA plus MBA, how many exemptions I will get? So you will get exemption in 3 papers. 3 paper exemption means first 3 papers of knowledge level. Then you have to write skill level papers and professional level. Third qualification is pursuing BCom. As per the new amendment or new policy or no new changes of ACCA, now the BCom pursuing student can also claim exemption in first 5 papers. BCom pursuing means they want ki like first semester should be clear. Only after that you can, if you want, you can start from the scratch. Some students don't want to claim the exemption, so they can go write all the 13 papers. But if you're pursuing BCom from any colleges, so you can claim first 5 exemption and you have to write only the 8 papers of ACCA. Then fourth is BCom graduate. See, one is BCom pursuing and now BCom graduate can also claim same exemption like 5 papers and they have to write only the 8 papers of ACCA. Next qualification is IPCC both group. So there is again a challenge. Suppose you have cleared both the papers of IPCC, both levels of ACCA, sorry, the CA, then you can claim exemption in first 5 papers and you have to write 8. Next qualification is BCom plus IPCC. Suppose if you are pursuing BCom or you have completed BCom plus you have cleared both the groups of IPCC, then you are eligible to claim exemption in first 6 papers and you have to write 7 only. Next qualification is CMA. I'm talking about Indian CMA. If you are a CMA qualified and having experience of more than 5 years, then all the 9 papers, it means first level and second level is exempted for you and you have to write only the 4 papers of professional level. But if you are a CMA qualified but having experience of 3 years only, then you are eligible to claim exemption in 7 papers and you have to write 6. And for chartered accountants, they are eligible to claim exemption in 9 papers. But if you have done your CA before 2002, so then you are eligible to claim exemption in 8 papers. I hope exemption, number of exemption is clear to everyone. If you have any query related to exemption, please ping me on chat box. Okay, moving to the next slide. So what are the steps involved in ACCA qualification? If anyone wants to pursue ACCA, whether he's BCom graduate, CA or any, so basically there are 4 steps which is involved in ACCA journey. So these, for all these 4 steps, a GT team will help you how to do that. So basically there will be 4 steps. So first step is registration, which is standard for everyone. So registration fees is 30 pounds, which is approx 3,000 rupees. So we'll help you how to register on ACCA portal, right? And my team will mail you like what documents they required for the ACCA registration. And they will help you step-by-step process of ACCA registration. Once your ACCA registration will be done, it will take 10 to 15 days to confirm your registration. And then second step will be the exemption fees. That depends upon the qualification, how many exemptions you are getting. Then ACCA will charge per exempted paper fees also. So there is a fees involving every exemption. Suppose if you're getting exemption in 3, 4 or 9 exemption, you have to pay the exemption fees also. But Grant Thornton will help you how to avail discount in the exemption fees. We'll discuss later on what is the exemption fees and how much discount the student can avail. Third will be the annual subscription fees or annual membership fees. In CA, you have to pay the membership fees once you will become a chartered accountant. But in ACCA, annual fees will applicable from the very first day. So now for the new student who will join now, the annual subscription fees will applicable from January 2024. And annual subscription fees is recently changed to 134 pounds, which is around 13,500 every year. that start from January to December. And last is examination fees, which a student has to pay before his examination. As exam will held 4 times in a year, so every quarter you have to pay the fees before your exam. Suppose if you are writing exam in March, so the deadline for exam fees is 30th of January. If you are writing exam in June, the deadline is 30th April, and accordingly 1 month, 40 days before you have to pay the examination fees. So these all 4 steps are involved in your ACCA journey.
Thank you, Jyoti. I think whatever queries are there, we can take them in the last section once we are done with the
Right.
presentation. So thank you so much, Jyoti, for explaining us that how the structure of ACCA looks like in terms of involving different exams, and especially how the exemption route or the entry route at ACCA works out. Because I think from the question itself, and even when all of us are discussing with a lot of students, this is one major doubt which they have, that how the exemptions route would work, whether we'll get the same exemptions. And we have even found cases that different exemptions are being offered to people by different learning providers. So I think all these sections also we would be covering a part of it in the later half. So now I would just like to quickly invite a few of our students who have taken the decision of pursuing, number one, the ACCA journey, and secondly, they have selected Grant Thornton as their learning providers in this ACCA journey. So we have two of our bright students, Anuj and Ashmeet, on this forum, and I would just request them to share their experiences, what prompted them to, number one, in first place, take up the ACCA journey, and how their journey have been, any challenges in case they would like to discuss, which they have faced, or probably any tips and tricks they would like to give to the budding ACCA professionals. So I'll request Anuj, if you can start, followed by Ashmit.
Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. I am Anuj, and thank you for kind words, Rohit, and good morning to everyone. I started my journey with F7, and I had 6 exemptions, and it's been a seamless journey. Yes, like it's written on the slide, it's been a seamless journey. I had challenges with respect to my audit paper. It was one of my toughest papers. I would always say it was being triple A student as well. It's been a toughest paper for me. And with GT, I'll be very clear, GT has been very supportive, especially Muskan and Jyoti from the day I have been here on this platform. The reason I chose GT was very clear because they're professionals. They know how to drill into the market. They know what the market needs, what you need for the market. Plus, when we come up on the platform of LearninGT, as soon as we are done with our examinations and we pass with flying colors, of course, touch wood, what happens is we do get some good courses as gifts, which actually add us. One of them being ERP or being Power BI, which is actually a industry need. So this makes it another point to be over here. Next, a tip and trick is always that you have to rush against the time in an ACCA paper. I was listening to the discussion very keenly. I had this be thinking that people are saying that ACCA is easier and CA is not easier. But no, I'll be very blunt over here. Coming from, I've given all my papers. Being an exempted student coming from Symbiosis College, we had this thing that we had to complete our internally all the papers. So no, it is not such. Please come out of that delusion or myth. You have to be very particular regarding every subject. At times, a group is way more easier to crack over a ACCA papers coming. Saying it's very bold of me saying this because when you give a paper like AAA or APM, they can take you for years, or maybe they can even clear one attempt. So yes, you have to be one. You have to rush against the time. ACCA papers are not easy to complete. The 3 hours, 15 minutes is not actually the apt time that I think ACCA would ever think of giving or increasing. They in fact reduce the time for a paper like SBL from 4 hours to 3 hours. So you see, there is always a scrutiny that is going on. One thing with GT is they are dynamic, like the ACCA degree. They adapt with how things change in ACCA, and ACCA keeps changing now and then. As soon as you get your exam, you're done with your exam, the next 3 months, a bomb will definitely drop 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, with a new technical article where even GT has to rush, even we as students have to rush with an explanation to it, because that is what it is. You have to stay updated. It's not it's unlike CA or a CMA where things are running and running and running from past and they haven't been updated, and it's taking this long time to update. So GT is down the line very on toes for that matter, and that is why I chose GT. Next thing I always talked about time. So time has always been an important integral part. And being an ACCA student, you need to know that technology is your best friend. Excel and words are your best friend. You have to start back and practice over it. You have to work according to it. Exam kits are your next best friends to you. You cannot skip them. And trust me, when it comes to GT, when you have queries, you have to post it to them, you follow up with them, and then you are done. You're great to go. All you have to do is sit back, be religiously with disciplined with your lectures. Mind me, I'm saying it again, you have to be religiously disciplined with your lectures. Coming towards the end and thinking of doing ki hanji ho jayega, no, it does not work. That attitude does not work. Nor does it work in any professional degree. Especially don't risk it with ACCA. You will end up being demotivated. And I can see, because Muskan is over here, Kapil is over here, and Rohit is over here. They are ACCA examples, they are ACCA members. They know how difficult it can be at times when you're coming towards an end and you're thinking, yes, we can do it, we'll do it. In the end, it does not work and it ends up leaving. And trust me, your fate will you will start regretting your fate, because that is what is gonna come in ACCA, and ACCA knows it very well. What students put it towards the end and what students are prioritizing. So GT does guide you on that. GT will always be there with you. I am also there with you, don't worry. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or personally, it's okay. I'll be there to guide you. That is it. You can anytime reach out to Muskan, Jyoti, me, or anyone for that matter.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you so much. A lot of time, what happens is that the outer world or everybody sees the final output, but it is very important to live the journey, because all the experience are made through that journey itself. A lot of time, people do see, yes, the person has qualified ACCA, but the hardship which has gone through the entire process, 2 years, 3 years, the ups and downs, the difficulties, the challenges. That's very important for us. Number one, to acknowledge, and second, take learnings from them, and then offer these learnings to anybody who aspire to do so. So thank you so much for sharing your entire experience. Good to know that how your journey has transpired. Thank you so much, Anuj, for the time, and thanks for being here. So now I'll request Ashmit, how your journey has been. What have been your learnings, which you would like to share with all of us?
So much, Rohit sir, for inviting me today. So I started my ACCA journey back in 2022 January. So that's like almost 2 years back, just after my CA Foundation examinations. And I also sat for CA Foundation examinations, but I didn't continue it for some reason. The reason was that I actually wanted a degree that had international relevance if I ever want to settle abroad. I have a degree that is recognized in that country. If something that I could easily manage with my college classes, something that is updated. The ACCA courses are updated every 6 to 8 months. So that is like you are future ready with the course. So yeah, as ACCA checked all my requirements, I went ahead with ACCA. Now, as I am a DU student, I am currently pursuing BCom honors from DU. I had the option of taking 4 to 5 exemptions for even before completing my degree, because there's certain MOUs with DU and ACCA. So, but I did not go with the exemption because I felt that, I mean, this is just my personal view, that being a high school graduate just after school, you do not have the necessary skills, you do not have the necessary concept that are essential for your skill level papers. So I didn't go with the exemptions and I gave all of my papers. Yeah, there was like, it took more than, I guess, around 6 months to complete those 3 papers, but 3 to 4 papers. But I'm happy that I, went through that F1, F2, F3 journey too. Now, I have been a part of LearninGT since my first paper. I have completed 9 papers till now, and all have been with LearninGT. My experience with LearninGT has been great, with immense support and guidance from Muskan ma'am, Jyoti ma'am, Pradeep sir, Rohit sir, Kapil sir, and other members of the GT team who have been there with me in whenever I have any doubts or problems. Further, I have also interned with GT this year. I interned under the CFO services expertise for 2.5 months, and it was a very it was an amazing learning experience for me. I got to work with a team of professionals on a UK client. It gave me the exposure that how the ACCA concepts are actually applied on real world situations. How do you use or apply the theoretical concepts to financial statements, the IFRS standards, the consolidation work, etc. So the internship actually gave me an exposure on working in a professional environment, interacting with the client. How do you solve queries of the client? How do you work with the client? How do you work in deadlines? So that was kind of a very good experience for me as a college student. It also gave me an idea about the opportunities that ACCAs have in India right now, with UK companies expanding to India and Indian companies expanding their network to UK. So there are a lot of opportunities that are there for ACCA students, and I'm really thankful to LearninGT to provide for providing me with this opportunity to get this kind of exposure. Now, talking about the preparation, I would echo what Anand said, that yes, the BPV kits and the workbooks should be your best friends. And the basic key to success for ACCA is basically the concept clarity. If you do not have the concept clarity that is required, you won't be able to pass the examination. So because basically ACCA is not rote learning. So that is something I would say. Now, the BPP kit, the LearninGT LMS, the ACCA CB platforms, the ACCA resources, examiner, reports, are all these things you should actually, are all the resources that are available for you to pass the examination. The mock exams that are available by GT, by BPP, and by ACCA are all a must before you sit for your examination. So that is a bit of advice from me. I recently gave the audit and insurance paper. This was my 9th paper, and I would say that it was the toughest for me. I'm not as senior as Anuj right now, but I would say that yes, it is the toughest paper because it is subjective. So you have to write the answers. It is manually checked. It's not like a computer is checking your answers. So you have to impress the examiner. You have to write your answers in a way that you are impressing the examiner that yes, you know what you are typing, what you are writing. So yeah, I would say. And well, so that was it. And so I would basically conclude by saying that yes, as amazing my journey with ACCA has been, it has been amazing with LearninGT too. If I have enjoyed my ACCA journey of 2 years till now, it is because I was a part of LearninGT, and they have also treated me as a family member. We have these CB sessions, we have mentorship sessions, we have these victory events wherein we interact with the top management, we share our feedbacks, they hear us, they work on it. So that is something that I feel like a family member here. And yes, so that was it.
Thank you, Ashmeet. I think Anuj has his hand raised. Anuj, is there something which you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'll add something to what there was a tussle between CA and ACCA. And I'll add to what Ashmit said. See, it's very conceptual clarity. People really need to know this. In CA, you usually rote learn and then you have to go into the examination. With ACCA, the game is totally different, though the syllabus is quite not vast, I would say. But until and unless you have not understood a topic, you will not be able to clear it. Let's be very blunt about it. You have to come with an understanding over there. You cannot rote learn things and come over there. Giving a paper like even if it is an audit paper, which is considered to be theoretical paper, you have to be known to the practical end to it. Because this is how ACCA is, and this is how the world works. They focus on the practical end. They don't focus on the textbook end. Textbooks, yes, they are just good for your knowledge at a level, but application is what that matters. This is why exam kits are, and this is what will make you go in one attempt, score ahead, good marks, maybe turn into ranks. Because if it was a paper which was challenging, but it was one of the papers which I scored the most marks. To be very honest, it was in 80s that I scored. So yes, if that is the case, then you have to be very much assured that textbook knowledge is just limited. You have to think very practically and then apply. It's a very practical degree, not like CA where you
Mm.
can just read the books and come out of it.
Great, Anuj. I think Ashmit, I also see your hand raised. Probably we just have few minutes now because we are running behind our schedule. So if you could just quickly add your point and yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add that yes, ACCA is very practical, and in the sense that CAs, the CA examinations are basically handwritten. So you have to write, you have to calculate all the entries, all the work that you do is handwritten. You have to use while at the same time ACCA is a CB based, like is computer based examination. So basically you have to use Excel. You should know the knowledge of Excel. You should know how to use a computer, the basic knowledge of a computer. So that is why I think that ACCA is a practical degree, because it gives you the knowledge that you would actually require in the real world. You will be using Excel, you will be using the formulas, and you will be using how to model your workings in an Excel file.
Right. Thanks, Ashmit. Thanks, Anuj. Those were really valuable inputs, and I am a firm believer that experiential sharing and is the best learning which somebody could get. You can read as much as in books, but when you hear stories of people who have gone through the journey and who have experienced the journey, there's nothing bigger learning can come from apart from that. And I think two things which both of you had highlighted. One in the case of Ashmit, that when he had selected ACCA, he was looking for global opportunities. So I think this one prominent question which a lot of aspiring ACCA students face, that whether it would be restricted in India or probably we can go abroad. So I think a direct question to that, which probably we have tried to answer, is that if you aspire to go global, then ACCA is absolutely the right path for you. At the same time, there is no dearth of opportunities within India. India being one of the hubs of skilled labor, all the organized, as in all the countries across the world are moving their operations and a lot of work coming to India. So there are ample amount of opportunities available in India as well. And in case you want to go global, then ACCA becomes a must. And second important aspect is about the dynamics of the ACCA qualification, the changing curriculum, and the practical aspect, which basically makes it stand apart. Because eventually you're gaining a degree, but then you have to use that degree to make your career out of for you. And then career would only come once you are able to apply that knowledge in the real world scenario. I think gone are the days when organizations used to be patient enough. They would train you. They'll take 6 months or 1 year to train you on job or make you job ready. No, those days are absolutely gone by. I keep on saying that the word management trainee, which was very common a decade back, a lot of freshers were hired as management trainees, and then they were given an ample amount of time to learn on the job. That has absolutely gone out. Now hiring is also done keeping a specific role in mind, and ACCA actually helps you in preparing for those specific roles. So you don't go through a long gestation period, and you are actually able to add value as soon as you are on the job. And that's where Grant Thornton as an organization is also trying to help its students. So once again, Anuj, Ashmit, thank you so much for your time, taking time out on a Saturday. We'll expect you to be here for another 15-20 minutes till the time we wind up. And any important question come, I would be more than happy in case you would like to add any value to them. So now moving forward, we'll just keep the queries section at the last once we finish the presentation, because we are, as I said, we are running behind schedule. This was supposed to end at 11:30, but as in keeping the engagement levels in mind, probably we'll extend it by another 5-10 minutes. So now I'll quickly take up the section that how a typical ACCA journey with Grant Thornton looks like. So we at Grant Thornton are committed to provide, all the support which is required for all our ACCA students. There are few deliverables which are mentioned on your screens right now. I'll quickly run them through and then focus about what are the main USPs which Grant Thornton as a consulting firm, as an organization, as a gold learning provider, as an employer brings to the table. So in terms of classes, we have all the flexibilities available with us. You can opt for our live online training programs, which are generally interactive with a lot of Q&A being answered. For working professionals who require a lot of flexibility in terms of schedule, who can't be available on a stipulated time slot, The recorded lectures are there, which we call as e-learning programs. If an individual wants to opt for a hybrid model, half live, half e-learning programs, all those flexibilities are absolutely available with Grant Thornton. We have a robust ecosystem in place internally, which has our learning management system also in place. So the tech which is behind providing these classes is absolutely seamless, so that you get a similar kind of an environment which you get in a classroom kind of a session. Uh, we have tied up with BPB. BPB is one of the oldest and approved content partners of ACCA. So anybody who's enrolling with us is given access to the ACCA as in BPP books, which are quite comprehensive, which covers everything. Apart from these BPP books, from a study perspective, there's not a lot of content which you need to refer externally. These are quite comprehensive with all the details mentioned. These books are majorly provided to you in hard copies and would be delivered to your respective addresses, which you are mentioning at the time of registration with us. In terms of the faculties, without saying, are qualified. In terms of few of them are ACCA qualified, they are chartered accountants. There's a mix of faculties, there are a mix of external industry experts also. There are a mix of internal faculties as well who are delivering this training program. Now, from a faculty perspective, our focus is not only to give you only conceptual knowledge. It's a beautiful blend of conceptual knowledge which basically helps you in clearing the examination. Plus, our faculties are the people who have actually done hands-on jobs. They have been actively involved in a lot of consulting jobs or probably different kind of projects for our clients. And apart from whatever they teach you from the books, they also share a lot of their personal experiences, how a particular concept has to be applied in the real world scenario, where whether you opt for Grant Thornton or you're working for any other organization. And that's where our USP comes in the picture. In the starting of this presentation, I told that Grant Thornton holds a unique distinction of being a consulting firm, being an approved employer from ACCA, and also providing the ACCA training to budding aspirants or professionals. So we do understand where the gaps are, what work ACCAs are supposed to do once they complete their degree. And that is something which we try and imbibe in all our lectures and sessions which we are delivering. Our faculties, our pedagogy, our methodology are designed in such a way that we are focusing and helping students to clear their ACCA examination. At the same time, we are preparing them to be job ready also, carefully incorporating case studies, examples, discussions during these sessions, which will actually help them relate their learnings to the real world scenario. There's also an internship opportunity which is provided to our students, which give them a chance and an opportunity to whatever they have learned during their classes to apply that actually in the real world scenario. And that's one of the biggest differences which we are bringing to the table. Live recorded sessions, classroom sessions, mock test, fee waiver in ACCA exemptions. I don't mind in saying that this is something which a lot of service providers would be able to provide you. But our unique pedagogy, our unique methodology, our unique focus on covering the practical aspect, just because we are employers also and we are consultants also. This unique distinction is only Grant Thornton is something which can provide you in the market, at least in India as of now. There is no other players which are purely, so other players which we are competing in the market are absolutely training organization or edtech organization. So their focus is absolutely different. And that's one USP which we bring to the table. And that's what our focus is, to impart that in our students. And at the same time, for us, the students are not only transactions. That we have a whole complete student facilitation team which has around 10 odd members. So we don't focus on just getting people on board. Before anybody enrolling with Grant Thornton for any kind of training program, there are absolutely large time is spent on counseling those students, clearing their doubts. Once they agree, they are convinced, then only they are taken on board. And it's not a transaction for us. We are here to support all our students throughout their journey. whatever challenges they face. So a lot of people at the initial level of their educational journey tend to opt for ACCA or any other qualification. After spending 4-5 months, they realize that no, ACCA is something which is not right for me, or any XYZ qualification is not right for me. And even at that point of time, our team is absolutely very supportive in clearing all your doubts. We have a unique mentorship plan, which we would be talking about, which actually helps in solving all these issues. This mentorship plan works in two ways. It covers your study aspect, it covers to make you job ready also. So from a study perspective, be it strategizing, scheduling time, how to give papers, how to approach papers, which paper to go first, how the complete ACCA journey would look like. There are whole extensive mentorship sessions which are being conducted. Muskan is there, Kapil is there, Jyoti is there. All three of them are actively part of these mentorship sessions, wherein they keep on sharing their personal experiences also, and listen to problems which are faced by our students, and those are being addressed as well. These sessions happen in groups also, and whenever there is one-on-one mentoring is required, that also is being taken care by Grant Thornton. The second aspect of this mentorship plan takes care more from a making our students job ready, wherein we help them in reviewing their CVs, how a good CV should look like, how interview happens, what are the tricks which one needs to follow for interview. We also conduct interview preparing sessions for our students. We help them in finding out jobs. We tell them where to apply for these jobs. ACCA also conducts a lot of job fairs and job assistance. So all those guidance, coaching is something which is given to our students, and we are quite actively involved in being part of that journey. So even if a student comes to us after their stipulated exams are over, they are not able to clear those examinations, we at Grant Thornton are absolutely committed to support them. In terms of money, we also don't charge them anything additional till the time they don't clear their examination. So once the fee is paid once for an examination, till the time that exam is not cleared, Grant Thornton will provide all the kind of assistance in terms of backup classes, in terms of discussion forums, in terms of mentorship, in terms of revised content, uh, help in terms of getting you internships, getting you placed. Everything would be taken care by Grant Thornton, because we are not here just for one-off transactions. If Anuj is with us, if Ashmit with us, they are here because they have lived the entire journey with us. And it is the case with all the ACCA students which we take on board. The numbers would increase in the coming years, but we are absolutely committed. Our internal processes are so robust that we are able to help each and every student in their entire journey. And we do not want the students to feel that it's just a mere transaction, that I have enrolled for a program and then I am absolutely lost what to do, what not to do. That's not our focus. We don't want to make money by enrolling blindly. We are here to build a vibrant Bharat. That's what the philosophy Grant Thornton works. And we would be able to build a vibrant Bharat only by giving the right set of knowledge and empowering the aspiring students, because once they become part of the workforce, they would actually be contributing in making Bharat a vibrant and taking the vibrant Bharat story forward. So that's what our focus is in terms of Grant Thornton. And I think these pointers I have already mentioned. As part of our entire ACCA journey, we would help you with the entire registration process. The student facilitation team, which is ably led by Jyoti, will absolutely help you in terms of how you have to register on the ACCA portal, what are the set of exemptions you would be getting, how your exemption fee is being calculated, what exactly you need to pay, at what point of time the payment has to be done. All those things would be taken care by Grant Thornton, and you need not to worry about anything. We have a lot of lucrative EMI, no cost EMI options available, because we do understand that for an ACCA it's a significant amount of money investment which also goes through. So we are absolutely providing interest free EMI models where the interest component is being bared is being borne by Grant Thornton Bharat in our own capacity, and we are not charging anything additional to our students or aspiring students. So those kind of flexibilities are also available with us in terms of the learning plan. And as I said, we are the gold approved learning partners. Very soon we aspire to be platinum learning partners also. So we are closely working towards that, fulfilling the criteria, and very soon that is one thing which we are aspiring very eagerly. And this goal should very soon turn into a platinum approved learning partner as well. At the same time, as I said, that we have a unique distinction of being an authorized employer as well as a approved learning partner. We offer a lot of internship opportunities and placement opportunities for our ACCA students as well. This is also one question which we predominantly get when we are speaking to a lot of students, or our student facilitation team is busy on calls, that how Grant Thornton will support in terms of internship and opportunities. So we at Grant Thornton would give you the platform. We'll prepare you for those internship and opportunities, but then those are absolutely basis the criteria which are laid down by the HRs, and the qualifying criteria which is internally laid down. Just as a fact, we hire 200 plus ACCA qualified annually in our audit and CFO advisory practice. The way Grant Thornton is growing, this number is significantly expected to go in the next couple of years. So there's a huge opportunity of people, as they are qualifying ACCA with us, can be absorbed by Grant Thornton itself. And it also gives us an added advantage, because we are the people who have trained them. We have trained them in a way to set the expectations from an employer perspective. So we would be more than happy to evaluate their employment opportunity with us at Grant Thornton. And this 200 is only a number restricted to Grant Thornton. There are other consulting firms, other business process outsourcing firms, which are hiring ACCAs in huge number. So in terms of demand, I think we have established that very well in the past 1.5 hours which we have spent, that there's a huge demand for ACCA people in India and abroad also. So just a glimpse of our student facilitation team. As I said, Jyoti, Muskan are the forefront of those teams, ably supported by our other counselors and consultants. Guys, very proud to say that our people are available almost 24/7, just as in removing their sleep time, be it 11 at night, whether these queries are restricted to how the registration process would work, or there are academic queries also. We have a lot of WhatsApp group. I myself personally is a part of 100 plus WhatsApp group involving ACCA students. At a lot of time, it becomes very difficult managing those groups, but we are absolutely committed to provide solution as quickly and as minimum tat as possible, because we are committed. We do understand if somebody is studying at 11:30 at night, if he or she might get stuck, they need a resource to help them out at that point of time. So I am saying that it's not that we don't come across bad feedbacks, we don't come across escalations, we don't come across unhappy students. That happens, and that is how the game works. It would happen, but then we at Grant Thornton are quite committed to take the constructive feedback. Our students like Anuj, Ashmit, we keep on engaging with them, and other students also taking their feedback, that please do let us know where we are going wrong, what are the areas we can improve. And our team is proactively working in terms of fine-tuning all the things. So there have been cases in the past where our sessions have not gone as per the expectation. We have not received a good feedback of the faculty, but then we don't have any problem in accepting this. And once the acceptance is there, then Grant Thornton is committed to take the remedial actions, because end of the day, for us, a happy student is the one which we want. Happy student would be something which would be our cheerleader and will make us proud. So guys, this was all in terms of what we wanted to tell you about how the journey with Grant Thornton look like, how ACCA is structured, what ACCA qualification is all about. We have already overshot time by 10 minutes. I'll just quickly keep another 5-7 minutes for your Q&A, and then probably we are good to wind up this session. Guys, while I'm reading the Q&A sessions, anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask any question, you can do that. I see a lot of questions coming with respect to exemptions, and those are being answered also at runtime. I am just leaving you with the contact details of Jyoti and her team also. So any questions, specific questions with respect to exemptions, or how exemptions would work for a particular individual, you can reach out to these numbers and these email IDs which are listed on your website, on your screens. And the team is available today also, immediately after this session also. So they would be more than happy taking up your questions, individual questions, specific questions, and answering those. I think one question is with respect to the career progression, which I would like to put. What is the career progression like after ACCA? I'm aware of the recommended 3 years at one of the big four, but what comes next? Should one stick with it or switch it? Kapil, Muskan, Jyoti, anybody of you would like to take this up?
So this is again a very, very personal question. Depends on your personal career path and how you want to pursue it. Of course, there's no a straightforward answer like yes, switch the company after 3 years or stay with it. You should see your personal career path, how it progresses. It says that there's no limit to your career. It's not that after 3 years you'll see a stagnant path. There is, especially in the Big Four or any other MNC, there are multiple designations. If you're aware, you start as a consultant, then you grow as an assistant manager, then you grow as a manager, then you grow as an associate director, partner. So there is a long journey ahead of you as well. So apart from that, what you also need to make sure is that you're liking what you're doing. um, Once you've decided that this is something that you're enjoying, this is where you're seeing your career path, that there's no harm in staying for 10, 12, 14 years. There are partners who are with Big Fours, who are with Grant Thornton, who've stayed with us for 14 years, 16 years, and they're doing very well for themselves in their career. Whereas there are other people as well who after 2 to 3 years might have moved to industry, might have moved to a banking industry, to a finance role, to a business finance role. Somebody like me who started her career in audit. I worked for in the audit division for about 10 years, but suddenly I wanted to be an ACCA mentor. I wanted to take care of operations. I wanted to be a part of academics, and there I changed my career path after 10 years. So that's something. Like the only way I would conclude it is that you should do what you feel is the best for you, and there's nothing stopping you if you have confidence in yourself. So it's not dependent on the qualification or something in particular.
Thank you, Muskan, for answering. Yeah, Jyoti, I think you wanted to add something. You're on mute, Jyoti. You'll have to unmute.
Yeah, Rohit, many questions are there related to their exemption. Yes, now chartered accountant can claim the same exemption. Sorry, they no need to do the articleship again. They can show the same certificate which they have done in your CA, the 36 months of training. Second question, multiple questions were there, like being a BCom plus MCom student, how many exemption they will get. So they can claim exemption in 5 papers now, right? Third question was there, whether I can claim the exemption in text paper or not. Dheeraj, if you have already enrolled in ACCA, then you are not able to claim the exemption in text paper now. But if you have recently enrolled in ACCA after 8th of August, then definitely you can claim exemption in exemption paper now. And there is one other question, like how many papers we can give in a particular year. So maximum you can give 8 papers in that particular year. So all the questions which we have already answered on chat box also, like how many exams a chartered accountant, a BCom student, and an MBA student can get. MBA, if you have done BCom plus MBA, then you can claim exemption in 5 papers. But if you have done BBA plus MBA in finance, then you are eligible to claim exemption only in 3 papers. And same like chartered accountant, if you have done your CA after 2002, so you are eligible to claim exemption in 9 papers.
Thank you, Jyoti. I think questions with respect to exemptions would certainly, keep flowing after this webinar also. I
Yes.
hope your phone should be flooded with as much queries as possible with respect to exemptions. I think one quick question is about how much of the industry experience works out, and what is the path of becoming from an ACCA affiliate to a member, if I'm using the terminologies right. Muskan, any thoughts that how that mandatory 3 years of industry experience work out in the entire cycle of the ACCA journey?
So, as we explained in the ACCA journey also, that the practical experience requirement can be done anytime during your ACCA journey before your exams. That means for a chartered accountant, you're already done with your PER. All you need to do is you just need to log it. So even if you're done with any work experience before starting with any of the exams in your ACCA, you can get that logged in your PER. For a student like Ashmit, who's with us here, for example, he did 2.5 months of internship with us. That is also a part that will be counted in his PER. So any duration in the relevant role during your ACCA exam journey is also counted in your PER. And similarly, anything that you've completed after, anything that you work in after completing all your 13 papers is also counted in your PER. So practical experience requirement is nothing but a step to claim your ACCA membership. Like Jyoti explained, that there are 3 steps, that there is an ACCA affiliate that you become after completing all your 13 papers. Then you have your EPSM module, again can be done anytime during the ACCA journey. And the third part is your PER, practical experience requirement of three years. This is just a mandatory step before claiming your ACCA membership. Is there anything else that I could, like, Rohit, you
I
want me
think
to
one doubt
pick up
which probably
specifically?
is coming from a question that I personally might also have, that, for example, if I already have a 3 years of experience in finance and accounts, and after doing that, I decide in the fourth year that I want to start my ACCA journey. So would that prior 3 years of experience could be taken as 3 years of experience, or the answer is no for that?
Yes, of course it can be taken. Any relevant experience can be counted in your PER. So if today you decide to get start your ACCA journey, then definitely all you need to do is go to my ACCAs, write start my PER, and write that from 2018 to 2021 you worked in this organization under this supervisor, and your PER is recorded. That's it.
And
I
Muskan,
think
there is one more thing in that. I think in CA, you have to go with 36 months of your training, uh, like this internship. But in ACCA, if you're working in a relevant domain, so that period will also count.
Yes,
So this is the
absolutely.
major difference between CA and ACCA.
Absolutely. Even if you worked in an MNC, in a finance department, in an accounting role, in a any relevant accounting, finance, banking role also, that can also be counted in your PER. It's not that you only have to work under a CA firm or under a CA. Any relevant role can be counted. For example, Ashmit worked here in the CFO services. That's not a pure audit role or any other particular role, but this is also counted in your PER.
Thanks, Muskan. Thanks, Jyoti. I think that was one very relevant point which a lot of people struggle in terms of getting clarity on. I think one question which I could not see right now on my screen was in terms of how much time is required to clear a particular paper. Somebody had mentioned whether 2.5 or 3 months are enough. I'm not able to now locate that question on my screen. So, Ashmit, Anuj, any idea typically that preparing for a particular paper, how is as in how much time is relevant within a day, how much hours do you need to spend to prepare for a particular paper? Especially, I think this is useful for people who are parallelly working also while they're doing their ACCA journey, that whether they will be able to take time out for preparing for those examinations. So anything which you would like to share from your experience?
Yeah, I'll take this question. So if you're a working person, because even when I was working, so almost 2 hours of disciplined study per day, 2 hours to 3 hours of disciplined study per day is more than enough for you to tackle it. But then you have to be very much sure that you are doing it for your complete 3 months. Like even I said earlier, you can't come up on the end month and say, okay, I'll give up 3 hours per day and then I'll be able to manage a pass. No, that doesn't work. Consistency is the right word over here. So consistency matters. Approximately 3 hours a day or 2 hours a day, setting up few small goals and clearing your chapters, and then you're putting up your time on exam kits. is more than enough. I follow a principle called I call this as 1 plus 1.5 plus zero point 0.5 principle. 1 month is full technical knowledge grasping, 1.5 month is for your exam kits, and 0.5 month, that is your last 2 weeks, is for your mock plus revisions. So this is how it works. If you're having 2 to 3 hours up per day, this is good to go. I think, Rohit, this is an apt answer that I can give from my end out of all the one papers left behind.
No,
Yeah.
Anush, thank you so much. And I think this really helps for somebody who has actually done this. It's very important that people who aspire can take clues from them. Because I absolutely remember. So now it has been more than a decade where I had given a professional examination, but somebody advised me to make a timetable. I remember that was somewhere when I was in class 10. And that was one of my home tutors who used to came, and he made me a timetable which actually allowed me to study for 10 hours and take time out of for all my personal thing. I think that one learning more than a decade back, I still take in everything which I do. Strictly follow a timetable, move
Yes.
to a schedule. Discipline is something which is very important, and if you are able to follow that, there is no stopping, and you'll be able to manage everything. I am not a firm believer that just for one thing you will have to give up other things. It is all about managing, and that is something which could done with sheer persistence and a lot of discipline coming in.
Yes, yes. Even I was talking to Ashmeet Kaur, one of our colleagues at GT.
Mhm.
So even I told her I have a set timetable for everything with respect to, see, you cannot, we are youngsters and we are
Right.
like the vibrant Bharat coming up. So we are always in the mood that we have to go out, we have to chill also, we have to study also, we have to cater to our social engagements. So I do have this timetable and I do follow it. I make sure, of course, I keep some buffer also. You have to keep a buffer that in case there is some uncertainty that is coming out in your work, that is, of course, you have family engagement that come up at any point of time. So I do keep that buffer and then I work according to it. So
Right.
yeah,
Anuj, I think very relevant point which you addressed here is, and I think this is also a lot of people struggle and are not able to realize where the expectations of organizations have changed. That it is very important, apart from your academic knowledge, to have a holistic development. And
yes,
for that holistic development, you need to take time out for other activities, be it socializing with your friends, spending some kind of time on your personal development, either following your hobby, passion, anything. Because organizations, these days, be it Grant Thornton, be it any other consulting firm, are actually looking for people who come with this holistic development approach, and can fill in a lot of roles and not only one particular role. So for example, you will have to be very good at handling customer or talking to a customer also, apart from your core technical skills. Because even if you are being hired as a consultant, freshly graduated, be a chartered accountant or an ACCA, if you are working on a client and tomorrow CFO comes and walks to you and says, hi, how this is done, and if you are not able to converse with that CFO with the confidence or with a certain kind of logic, I think that's where you start losing out on the battle. So wherein you focus on the academic aspect, on the technical knowledge, I think as individuals, as professionals, we should also focus on the holistic development, developing our other skill set also. I think just one last question we would take, because we have already touching 12 noon before people start saying that we have taken up a lot of time. But I think it's important that a lot of questions have come up and the audience have been very engaging. One question is with respect to whether Grant Thornton provides internship opportunities or placement opportunities. I think we have addressed this question in the past, and I'm also reiterating this is that we are not like other service providers which are giving you a job guarantee or a placement guarantee, or probably returning your money if you don't get a placement. No, our objective is not that. We don't promote that, and we don't want to be seen ourselves like this. We are preparing you to be more job ready. We would be giving you opportunities to get placed within Grant Thornton where the relevant openings are coming up. You will have to go through the entire process just like an other individual applying to our training would go through. There won't be any preferential treatment which would be given, but certainly a foot in the door, the opportunity would be provided. If you are smart enough, which we are making you will be able to clear the interview. There would be a lot of opportunities available for you. But at the same time, no promotions, no counseling sessions, no forums, not on our website. We are going to write this and we are promoting this because we are not running a business. As we said, we are building a vibrant Bharat, and it's important that we equip you with those skill set that what if Grant Thornton, there is no organization which should refuse you. That's what our center stage is. That's what our focus is. But at the same time, we would be providing you enough ample opportunities for internships as well as final placement also. So I think with this, guys, I'll just quickly like to thank all of you, the patient audience, for spending 2 hours on a Saturday morning. I think it requires a lot of motivation and passion to be available for especially people who have their weekends off. Thank you for all the speakers, Kapil, Jyoti, Muskan, Anuj, Ashmit, taking their time out. I think Kapil had to move out of this session because of some personal commitment, so he's not here. But thank you so much.
I'm here.
Achha, you are here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. So thank you so much, each one of you. I think it was quite an engaging and fruitful discussion. The numbers are there on your screen. You can absolutely, reach out to any of our team members for any further queries, any kind of personal session, counseling or mentoring sessions. We would be more than happy to support you. Kapil, I'll just take the liberty of making one final announcement that we would be happy to offer certain discounts up to an extent of 25%, and access to our skill-based program of people who intend to enroll after attending this webinar with us. You can personally reach out to Jyoti for getting your discount codes and other things. So people who want to start their ACCA journey, we would be more than happy to offer this as a small token of scholarship for them, if you would be interested in enrolling with us.
And Rohit, I would say that let's add a couple of other programs also, which would be more relevant to students, because I can totally relate to that. Fees, discounts, and other things are important, but having practical thing, because I can relate to something which Anuj has mentioned. So I suggest that they should not just focus on something what they are learning in ACCA, but what additionally, because currently the tools and other things are more relevant nowadays. So let's do that also, right? Please
Absolutely.
consider.
I think we have a whole library of programs which we call as the short-term skill enhancement programs, which are with respect to areas like financial modeling, IFRS, business intelligence, data analytics, something upcoming as forensic and fraud investigation, investment banking also. I think please do feel free to reach out to Jyoti. Those programs can absolutely be bundled with your entire ACCA journey, and we'll be more than happy for you to avail those certification also as you go through and go along with your ACCA journey. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It's we at Grant Thornton signing off. Thank you so much for being such a patient and engaging audience, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.